Hello and welcome to your practice today. We'll be doing a 15-20 minute slow but strong practice to bring some energy into the body and also find some little intricacies in the movement. So I invite you to really bring your awareness along with you as you practice today. And do keep an eye out for this wild white beast named Teddy, who will likely be throwing himself around in the grass around me. So watch out for an elusive Teddy sighting. And let's begin. Let's actually start at the top of our mat. We'll start in Tadasana, in mountain pose. So find your feet firmly rooted on the floor and pick up your toes and then lay them back down and then pick them up one more time and spread them wider and then lay them back down. Feet are hips distance. Pressing down and then slightly press the heels away from one another. I can actually notice that in my sacrum. I have some SI issues, so you might be able to even notice that depending on the tilt of your pelvis. But lengthen the tailbone down as the front of the pelvis lifts up just slightly. Lift the kneecaps up. And then on an exhale, lengthen again, tailbone down. Imagine energy going down the backs of the legs, all the way through the heels, and heels slightly turn out from each other. One more inhale like this. Lift the pubic bone belly button up towards the sternum. Lift the sternum slightly up towards the throat and reach through the crown of the head. And then exhale, relax the shoulders down. The pelvis is heavy. The heels are heavy. And let's begin to move. Inhale, fingers go wide, hands enliven, and they open up. Palms turn towards the sky as they reach all the way up. Hands touch above the head, and exhale, slowly draw hands back to heart center. Firmly pressing hand into hand. Again, open wide, palms turn up, so external rotation, then lift up like you're lifting up honey. And then exhale, hands touch. Come back through heart center. This time, soften the knees. Chin to chest, hips move back as you come all the way down to the ground. Bend the knees as you like. Fingertips down on the ground, pour out the head. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can go on the shins, they can stay on the ground, wiggle the hips. And exhale, fold down. Soft bend in the knees. Press down through the feet so much, let the torso be heavy, but press down so much that it begins to lift. That's where the energy is coming from. Palms turn out and up, lift up. And exhale slowly like you're pushing down, honey, now down into the ground. Chin goes to chest. Soften the knees. And then pour forward. Inhale, halfway lift, get a little wiggle in the hips. And exhale, step back, downward facing dog.
Okay, now you're rolling.
Let the knees bend really generously. Wiggle the hips, press firmly through the hands as you explore here. And then inhale, press down through the balls of the feet to lift the heels, and exhale, bend the knees softly, sweetly drop them down to the ground. Soften the elbows, pull the heart center forward into cow pose. Actively drag the hands and the knees towards one another so the heart center can pull forward, open throat. Claw fingertips into the earth. And then exhale, push into the ground. Let the hips lead you back downward facing dog. Once more like this. Inhale, lift the heels. And exhale, slowly the knees find the ground. As the knees find the ground, soften the elbows. Pull the heart forward. Claw into the ground and gaze up. Actively drawing the hands towards one another, maybe a little wiggle of the hips, kind of like a pouncing position here. And then exhale, find your way back into downward facing dog by pressing into the earth, hips lift up and back. Press down through the left foot so much that the right toes begin to lift, spread them wide, and rise leading with the inner thigh. Maybe bend into the standing leg to square the hips. Really pushing in through the hands like you could reach all the way from the fingers to the toes, could get longer. And then exhale, pull the knee towards the chest and round the upper back as you come forward, maybe touching the knee to the nose. Inhale all the way up and back, get really long. Maybe standing leg bends, maybe the thigh touches the chest. And then exhale, the right knee comes forward. Maybe it touches the chest. Begin to gaze forward. Step through, foot inside the right hand. Slowly, the left knee drips down. As it touches the ground, press into the right foot and let the arms lift up. Press more into the right foot to lift the hips, the whole pelvis up. See if you can pull the front ribs towards the back ribs just a little bit to integrate. Hands can be facing one another, or they can clasp on top of, clasp into Kali Mudra. Staying here for just a moment, getting long on both side ribs. And then exhale, begin to lift the front toes, press into the front heel. As you lengthen the front leg, the hips move back, back, back. Hands can open into cactus, kind of like you're sucking air up through the middle of the palm. Heart reaches forward, hips reach. Lots of activity in that front heel. And then inhale, come forward, arms sweep down and up. Press into the front foot, lift up, crescent lunge. Both knees bent here. Again, draw front ribs towards the back ribs, lengthen the tailbone just slightly, and let's clasp the hands above the head. Exhale, lean over towards the right as you dip the hips low. Inhale, press into the front foot and lift up just slightly. And exhale, dip low, side stretch. Again, inhale. And exhale. I hear a teddy. Once more, inhale. This time lengthen both legs. Again, cactus the arms. Send the hips back as the heart comes forward like they're battling against one another. And slowly fold forward. Pull back on the right hip crease until the right hands find the floor, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Claw fingers into the earth or into blocks. Pull them back towards the hips so the heart can reach forward. And exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Let's wave in and out. Inhale, wave forward, hips lift, back of the heart rounds. Plank pose, stay here for a round of breath. Slight separation of the shoulder blades, claw down into the earth, and then exhale, slowly bring the knees down, cow pose. Actively draw hands and knees towards one another, go lay down, and gaze up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full round of breath here, in and out. Inhale, lift the heels and to press down through the right foot so much that the left toes lift. They spread, lift through the inner thigh. Standing leg can be bent a little bit to square the hips, really long through the fingers, all the way to the tips of the toes. Exhale, knee towards chest, nose as you round, come forward, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, up and back, tripod. Pull thigh to chest, knee to nose, round the upper back, and slowly step through with deliberation or deliberately. Gently plant the back knee down. As it plants, press through the front foot to float the arms, the torso up.
Press a little bit more into the front foot to integrate the torso. Pull front ribs towards the back ribs. Lengthen the tailbone down. Lift the heart up. And then exhale, lift the toes. Gaze towards the front foot. Lift the toes. Begin to press into the heel as the hips tilt back. Lengthen the front leg. Cactus the arms. So a sense of pulling energy in through the palms. Maybe there's a little bit of kind of a buoyancy of a movement here. Hips and heart are reaching in opposite directions. And then next, inhale, shift forward, swoop the hands low to the earth, and then everything comes up. Press down to lift up, crescent lunge. Hands in Kali Mudra, both knees bent. And we begin to move with breath. So when exhale sinks you low as you reach towards the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, dip. Inhale, center. Exhale, dip. Inhale, center. This time, lengthen both legs long. Lengthen tailbone down towards the back heel. And then cactus the arms. Lift the heart up. Draw energy up through the palms. And then exhale, hips move back, heart moves forward. So a really slow forward fold. Pulling back on the left hip crease. You can bend in the front leg to help keep some stability and slowly release. Pour forward. Inhale, halfway lift, scissor thighs together to get more length in the spine, more reach in the heart. And exhale, fold forward. Press into the hands, step back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, wave forward plank pose. Exhale, let the knees come down. Let the heart reach forward, elbows soften. And downward facing dog. Lead with the hips. Inhale, right toes, leg come all the way up. And exhale, step all the way through inside the right hand. As the back heel plants, the arms float up, press into the front foot. And exhale, begin to lengthen the front leg as the arms cactus back, really slowly, deliberately. And this time the hands continue to reach back and the interlace behind the back. Pull the fist away from the hips as the heart reaches towards the toes. Keeping this clasp as we bend the front leg, press up into crescent lunge. Find a space where you feel integrated in the torso, so lengthening the tailbone, pulling the front ribs in, and also bending the knees as much as you need to help support that. I also like to separate the feet a little bit some days, depending on how my balance is. The more space you have, like parallel-wise, you'll have a bit more stability. Now plant the back heel down, so you're in warrior two into the legs. Take a moment here, pressing evenly through both feet. Roll the shoulders back again, heart center forward, and then pour forward inside the front leg. Shoulder inside the right thigh. Humble warrior. So your option, you can just let the hands fall over the head here if that feels available and comfortable, or you can reach the hands, release the hands and reach them long into a warrior dog. Wherever you are, try to press the right shoulder into the right thigh. Find that kind of glue there. One more inhale. And then exhale, release the hands wherever you are. Right hand, and we're gonna shift over towards the left. Wide leg forward, fold. The right hand will go right underneath the face, right underneath the gaze. Left arm will reach up, taking a twist. Send both of the sit bones high. Imagine you could push the top creases of the thighs back a little bit. And press down through the pinky toe edge side of the feet up on the arches. Imagine that lift in the arches can extend all the way up the inner thigh. And then lean back into the shoulders. And one more cue, imagine that The left hand could press into an invisible wall. So press it there and see if you can rotate the heart open a little bit more. One more big inhale. And exhale, bend the knees, turn the heels in and the toes out as the left arm swoops underneath the right. Eagle arms. Lift the torso up. Goddess pose with eagle arms. One more inhale here. Inhale, lengthen the legs. Turn the toes towards the top of the mat and unwind warrior two. Flip the front palm, inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, come all the way down to the ground, downward facing dog. Inhale, wave forward plank pose. And exhale, the knees gently come down. Next, inhale, slow-mo cow pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left toes spread and the leg lifts. And exhale, come all the way forward, knee to chest, knee to nose, and then foot to the inside of the left hand. Softly, the right knee comes down as you lift up, torso, hands press into the front foot. And exhale, the hips lead you back as the heart pulls forward. Hands, cactus, bringing energy up through the palms. And then slowly find them interlaced behind the back if that feels accessible. You can also grab opposite elbows or use a strap. Steady breath. Finding a sense of stability here. The next inhale will come forward. Really pressing down through the front to lift up and finding a stable center here. Maneuvering however you need to find some sustainable pause. Think for a moment about lifting the pubic bone up towards the belly up towards the sternum. Lift in the front of the body. Next, exhale, plant the back heel down, move into warrior two in the legs. Inhale here. And exhale, forward fold, inside humble warrior. So again, the arms can come up over the head, or you can reach them out into warrior dog. Wherever you are, you're finding a relationship between the shoulder and the thigh. One more inhale here. Full melt. And then begin to shift, so press into the left foot and shift it around to wide leg forward fold. This time the left hand comes underneath the gaze, press into the earth, toes slightly in, heels slightly out, taking a twist towards the right. The creases of both thighs move back, sit bones move up. The crown of the head and the tailbone are reaching in opposite directions. Lean back slightly into the shoulders and then actively press the right hand into an invisible wall. Steady breath. One more inhale. And exhale, bend the knees, turn the heels in, the toes out as the right arm swoops underneath the left. Sink the hips low, eagle arms, or grab opposite shoulders and come up, goddess pose. It's tough to be a white farm dog. Finding some movement or stillness. Noticing the heartbeat, quality of the breath. And then inhale, lengthen the legs. Warrior two towards the top of the mat. Find connection between the feet. And inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, wind it all the way down. Downward facing dog. Inhale, wave forward plank pose.
And exhale, soften the knees down. This time the hips come back towards the heels.
Inhale, cactus the arms here, hips to heels. Finding wide heart. And then lengthen the arms up, gaze up, as if you were grabbing onto, I'm going to grab onto a pole and pull yourself up. We're going to come into a camel variation. So grab onto this invisible pole. And then begin to press down through the shins as you pull yourself up, leading with the heart. The thighs move forward and you're pulling yourself up to the bar. Maybe the hands go wide and you can, again, kind of feel that energy coming through the palms. Or maybe the hands go to the low back, helping to lengthen it down as you find space in the front body. And exhale, heart pulls up first, and then hips come down to the heels. Couple rounds of breath, noticing again, heart, beat, breath. One more time. This time the arms reach all the way up. Gaze up, grab onto the invisible pull-up bar here. I can't do these in real life, but I can do them right here. And then inhale, pull yourself up and do so with resistance. So you're really feeling this. Pull yourself up. And then maybe open the palms to let that energy come through the hands, claw the air, hips move forward. Or maybe the hands come behind the back, or maybe they reach down towards blocks or towards the heels. Pubic bone moves towards the belly, belly moves towards the sternum. One more inhale. And exhale, leading with the heart, like you're being pulled up by the heart. Head last, and then take a seat down. Beautiful. Palms up in the lap. Feeling in interoception, turning our perception inwards, being really aware of what's happening in our inner world. Feeling the fluctuations of the breath and the heart, the energy and the emotion. Being a present witness to it all. It's the beauty of this practice, and it's such a tool to help us do this, is that every day or every week or whatever time we come to the mat, we get this opportunity to check in with ourselves and to listen and to observe. It's not like you need a mat to do this, but for many of us, we can create a pattern here and create a safe space, almost a Pavlovian space, to be like, here I get quiet, here I listen. And from this space, then we can take it with us as well. So thank you for your space, your time. Thank yourself for creating space and time. And either taking your hands to the heart or your hands in prayer or maybe towards the third eye, however feels good for you to close your practice. I'll just close with one big inhale and an audible exhale. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. We're out in my field today. We've had so much rain, so it's so nice to be able to get out here and enjoy and to listen, quite alive. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time, hopefully on your mat. And if you liked this style of class, it's kind of slowing it down, more nuance, then check out my latest Fluid Vinyasa if you haven't seen that. There we get really intricate and move slow, and there's so much to be seen when we do that. So check that class out.